Let's talk Arsenal, shall we? Because they were winners again yesterday. As Anthony Martial so close to a second.
Concentrate on this show
for United.
Man, this is your show, boot room. I'll be watching United. Come on.
But listen, it's a weird one, Arsenal, because their fans, for the first time in 20 years, suddenly have come across all humble, and they're not in the title race. You know, they're second favourites.
That's what makes me laugh.
It's Manchester City's title to lose. You're 5 points clear. You're going to top the table at Christmas. History tells us that if you top the Premier League at Christmas, usually you go on and win the league.
Not Arsenal.
So why are Arsenal fans so frightened to come on this programme, come on talkSPORT and say, do you know what? We're in the title race. We're going to win the Premier League. We can do it under Mikel Arteta and this great group of young players. Give this team the credit they deserve.
Yeah, listen, I actually think deep down they're confident, because the more and more I watch them, and we always did say, look, it'll be after the World Cup, but the more and more I watch them, just the energy, and listen, of course, you know, good results breeds confidence, and you can see the Arsenal team, and they are winning all different ways. But even, like I said, two of my best friends are Arsenal fans, and when they were losing, every game they won, they was letting me know. Now it's, you know what, we'll just chalk it off next game, chalk it off next game. And when you start talking like that, that's because deep down, I think you kind of believe, you know what I'm saying? But I did hear a stat that whenever Arsenal have been top at Christmas, they've never won.
Really?
Yeah, I did hear that stat. You know, I try and do my due diligence now because, you know, I'm
well, you're keeping up with myself and Darren
you know, I try to do my due diligence now. Yeah, so that's what I heard. So maybe that's right. But I'm not going to lie, I'm more and more of a believer that Arsenal can stay, and I do think they will back Arteta, and I guess that's the question again when we come back in January, they back him. But I am a believer, I honestly am. I think they're beating the teams that they're supposed to beat, and then the teams that are arguably are not, they're still beating, you know. So boy, man, it's going to be, man, the worst thing is I do like it this way anyway, because I don't want City to run away with it anyway. I think it makes the Prem, with Newcastle, with Arsenal, I think it does make the Prem so much better in that. I don't know, I'm not saying I want Arsenal to win it. Hell no. I'll tell you that now. But it is good. It's good for the Premier League.
Yeah, I don't want Arsenal to win it. Absolutely not. Like every question that's put to Arsenal and Mikel Arteta, they are answering.
Exactly.
They're answering, well, you've never played anyone. They then play people and get great results. They win. You've got a tough fixture schedule, pile up coming up, 9 games in however many days. They only lose to PSV, I believe, which they made a few changes. The rest of them winning, drew to Southampton when Southampton could have got something out of that game. Should have probably lost against Leeds, or at least a point. Got 3 points against Leeds. They're coming back on 26th of December. They play West Ham, who we know are struggling at the moment. Then they go away to Brighton, who picked up a poor result today. They could go into January top of the league. They should be looking at that, saying we're going into it top of the league. The key thing is, and you said it, he needs backing. Last season they didn't back him in January transfer window, whether that was his decision or the board's decision, and that essentially is why they fell off, I think, in the top 4 hunt, because they didn't have a big enough squad. So he needs backing, and if they do, we said it last week, they are in a title challenge. They need to accept it. Stick your chest out and say we can win the league, because they can, and I hope they don't.
I guess the caveat is, because this is they're a unique season, that being top of the table at Christmas this year doesn't mean quite as much as it has in previous seasons, because they've not played as many games, but they're there. They're going to be there, as you say, at least until the turn of the year.
They're not going away.
You would imagine,
and it's frustrating for Spurs supporters, and that is what amplifies. We was talking about this last week. Is because Arsenal are doing so well? Is that why when Spurs lose a game, it's amplified a little bit? Because if Arsenal were falling off a bit, Spurs would be having a fantastic season. Yeah. Arsenal are really flying, and listen, like you said, you don't want to see teams run away with it. Liverpool, City every season. It's healthy competition this year, and maybe one more team, which we'll speak about a little later, might be asking questions of that as well.
Yeah, Arsenal certainly the dominant force in North London at the moment.